Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The New World. And in today's video, we discuss the major difference in Christmas games hosted by the NBA and now the NFL, as they recently hosted 2 games on Netflix, and with LeBron James telling the NFL that Christmas is our day. But with the comparison of viewership between the two sports, the question should be, how long will the Christmas Day games be the NBA's day? Before we answer that question, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't, as we are on the road to 10K subs. Turn on those notifications and stay tuned for more videos on the way. And comment which sport you think ultimately rules Christmas Day games. Kicking it off to Barto first. How long do you think the NBA will be the face of Christmas Day?
My boy, they're not the face of Christmas Day. They lost that shit. Because one thing I will tell Mr. LeBron James, face of the league, and I kind of told Jay and Buffy this before we started the video, is it kind of reminds me of that situation where, you know, as a big brother, and I have some experience with this, when you're playing your younger brother in basketball one-on-one, and you beating him like 150 times in a row, and he finally gets that first dub, that one dub, and he has to tell the entire family about it. That's what this situation reminds me of. As soon as the NFL started playing on Christmas Day, they took it over. Because if we look at average viewership, and I know that these numbers can be kind of inflated to some degree because the NBA does have more games. So with more saturation, you're going to have less average viewership per game. But the NBA is only averaging 1.56 million viewers per regular season game. This is from last year. When the end of the season comes, we'll get those full regular season numbers. Last year, the NFL was averaging 17.9 million per game. So if the NFL is basically stealing the NBA's lunch money. So Mr. LeBron James, I'm sorry to tell you, sir, but the numbers don't lie. Yes, you had an uptick in 84% from previous Christmas Day to this year, but those numbers are also kind of inflated because, for one, the NFL was on a streaming platform. They were just on Netflix. And combined, that Ravens and Chiefs game, those games combined, 65 million people watched those games, ladies and gentlemen. 65 on a streaming platform. Your NBA, and this is quote unquote your day, all of your games are broadcast on ABC and ESPN at the same time, concurring at the same time. And outside of the Golden State Warriors and Lakers game, the NBA is averaging 5.25 million per game. I mean, that's cool, I guess, but the NFL is blowing you out the water. They're blowing you out the water. 65 combined for 2 games. And let's not forget about Queen Bee Beyonce with the Beyonce Bowl at the halftime of the Houston Texans and Baltimore Ravens game. 27 million people watched that at peak. So this is not really a conversation. All of the NBA fans are really in their feelings right now because they know that they have a dead product that they're still trying to defend. And I kind of feel bad for them. So when they did get this little quasi W, I did want to give them credit, but they become a little obnoxious as of late. And I really can't stand it because really the only merit that they have to say that the NBA put out a better product on Christmas Day than the NFL was that they had all of these games that were close. Ladies and gentlemen, that San Antonio Spurs New York Knicks game, it was a cool game because they were making shots, but you have your quote unquote future face of the league, future GOAT or whatever you want to call him, and Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'5", damn near 8 feet tall, damn near as big as a Christmas tree, and he's taking 16 threes. Is this a good product? This is not an appealing product. Meanwhile, yes, those NFL games were blowouts, especially that Ravens game with the Texans. And don't get me started on CJ Stroud, the Texans. We will talk about them in another video. But that Chiefs game, for a good point of time, was enjoyable. It was engaging. And also, when I see the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, especially in the pregame, just kind of how their presentation is just much better. So even if the game is not that appealing, the presentation, the quality of the production is good. It's a good product. Sports, we all know, sports can go either way. A team can win, a team can lose, game can be close, a game can be a blowout. But the presentation has to be consistent, and consistently throughout. It doesn't matter who's broadcasting the game. It doesn't matter who's doing pregame, who's sideline reporting. The NFL product is better. Even the promotion. We got Mariah Carey in the pregame. Like, this is just a better product, ladies and gentlemen. So all the NBA has to stand on is the fact that the games were close. And that's cool. And you're still depending on LeBron James and Stephen Curry. When is it going to come to an end? When are we going to start promoting the young talent? I feel like I'm saying this in every damn video. I guess NBA fans, you can take that dub. But another question I have, and I will ask the crew, is, so why are we prioritizing this one game? We're 20 plus games into the season. You haven't been prioritizing this since then? Now you want to play hard on Christmas Day. Why? Because you're intimidated. You're in fear of the NFL. Y'all lost that battle a long time ago. When Michael Jordan retired in 1998, you lost that battle. You're not competing with the NFL. You're competing for second place. We need to start talking about the NBA and the MLB and the NHL. You're in those talks. You're not in NFL talks. It's not an argument, not a discussion. The NFL from September through February owns sports. They own television, cable television at this point in time. You're competing for second place. You're trying to maintain relevance because I'm hearing Adam Silver in interviews continuing to be in denial about this product. He continues to say, oh, well, cable television is really kind of dying. So we're mainly focused on our social media. Our social media presence niggas don't care about TikTok, Adam Silver. You don't care about your social media following. You're saying that cable television is dead, is dying, but NFL is pulling 20 plus million people on these games every single game. Doesn't matter who's playing. So NBA fans, enjoy that weak ass dub. It's cool. It's a momentary feeling. Because I will say this, and we will get to it. Make sure you guys have watched that All-Star Game format video that we dropped. Tune into that. When that All-Star Game comes around, we will see what has a better product. Because around that time, the NFL will be ramping up to the Super Bowl. And we will see who has the better product. So holla at me then.
With Christmas Day, normally it is the NBA that we usually see. But, the NFL now, they kind of showed us that we can take this over. And LeBron, throwing shots at the NFL, he really just poked the bear. Because I wouldn't be surprised come Christmas Day next year, we see, the Chiefs and Bills, like the Ravens versus Bengals, Eagles versus Commanders. Like, you really just threw a shot at Goodell. And Goodell's gonna sit there and take that personally. And he gonna be like, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna show you something. And the NFL, they were perfect when they took basically who the culture typically hears or sees during Christmas time. They had Mariah Carey to start off, during the NFL. And then they got Beyonce during the halftime. And the results show. They went on Netflix and they got over 20 million views for both games. And both games were blowouts, especially that last game. Like the Texans at home only dropped 2 points, 31-2. And it was still over 24 million people who watched that game. I'm definitely gonna be honest. The NBA, they were better games to watch, but that just shows you how much promotion actually does better. These have been the most viewed Christmas games since 2019 for the NBA. And in 2015, when we had, those iconic Cavs and Warriors games, that was about 12 million views. So NFL still surpassed you. Now I know that's, a whole bunch of years back, but still it shows how much promotion goes. And the NFL, they just know how much business has been booming. And look where this got him. So LeBron, he really kind of poked the bear. But Adam Silver, like, even though I know he probably enjoyed seeing that, they got such a good amount of views, but bro, this really shows like the big difference between, putting your thought and care into promoting your league versus not caring. You're not caring and you only getting like 7 million views, 5 million views. But if you care more, you could hit double-digit views. Like if you actually brought in your players to do a Christmas commercial instead of using CGI stick figures, maybe you get, over 10 million views, because it was good games to watch. We saw Wemby, the next face of the league. We saw, JT, we saw Ant, we saw a classic Bron versus Steph. Like, we saw all these guys that we know. But you don't want to promote them. Like, you don't want to promote your international guys either. We had Jokic, we had Embiid. Even though Embiid, we all know what Embiid is like. But still, we got all these folks, and you barely want to promote it. This has been like one of the first Christmas commercials since like that iconic 2013 Christmas commercial. Like, Adam Silver, you just want your fans to always feel nostalgia and going back to watch the same old commercial? Like that Sprite cranberry, that used to be fire. Like sometimes I see the commercial with Ant, and he does one dressed up as Santa Claus, but it don't got no motion because you barely see it. The NFL, when they have players in commercials, we see a lot of them. State Farm, Hulu, all these different, sponsors that they have, we see them all the time. But the most person that I see with commercials in the NBA is Ant. And you barely see him most times. So NBA, if you want more views, it's clear that you gotta promote what you're putting out there. Because the NFL, they see if they promoting it right. Look, the results are showing. So Adam Silver, you better get ready and buckle up. Because Goodell, he's finna keep whooping ass in viewership. So, buddy, you better get ready, get prepared, because the NFL, they finna take over if you don't act on it quick.
I feel like, and you guys know, we're all business students. We talk about like the 4 P's of marketing. It really needs to be an additional P added to that for people. I feel like companies, especially companies that are contingent and stagnant like the NBA, they forget about what is the most important piece of their business. It's the people, the consumers. And as Jalen said, you have to understand, I kind of think that he's alluded to this, you have to understand what your target market is. And these commercials that I see with the NBA, like when I see the ants and all of this, it's cool, but it's just that, it's cool. Who are you trying to appease? Who are these commercials for? That's something we need to take into account. And another thing, one thing that's criminally underrated with the NFL is that I don't just see the stars in NFL commercials. I also see guys that may not have as much name recognition. Like I'm seeing Fred Warner in commercials. Like I'm seeing other guys, other ambassadors of the league, not just stars. And I think that goes to a standpoint of the NBA has built their brand on stardom, and the NFL has mainly built their brand about teams. And what we think about when we think about teams, we think about camaraderie. And what is that akin to? We always hear these players talk about, this player is my brother. Family. Family is big in the NFL. Families sit down on Christmas Day, sit down at Thanksgiving to watch these games. Families host Super Bowl parties. These are events. Buffy told me this before the video. When you go to an NFL game, it's an event. When's the last time we've ever heard about an NBA halftime show? They don't promote halftime shows. That's not something that's integral in the promotion. NBA games does not feel like an event. It feels like an elitist session that only people that have a lot of money can afford to go to. Because even if you're an NFL watcher, and you may not be able to afford to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, Super Bowl tickets are going for like 10 bands. So even if you don't feel like you can afford to go to those games, they will still sit their ass down at home and watch it on television with their families. Can't say the same about the NBA. And I think it's just very disingenuous for LeBron James to come out and say the shit that he did when it's like, brother, you are a part of the problem. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. The reason why the NBA is in an influx when you're supposed to be this face, he has to share. We always talk about Adam Silver. On the channel, we always talk about Adam Silver. LeBron James got to share some accountability for the entitlement that these guys have. It's like, if y'all want to see us continuing to shit on this NBA product, let us know in the comment section, because we will continue to do so. Because the demise of this product is very, very entertaining for me. And I did grow up more of an NBA fan than an NFL fan, but that just goes to show you to see, I've basically taken a full 180. I'm in tune to all of these NFL games. Even if I can't watch them all, I'm still in tune to everything that's going on, because it's just a more appealing product. And I could definitely see myself 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, sitting down with my family, watching these games every Sunday on my off day, or watching them on Thanksgiving, or watching them on Christmas. And I have no desire at this point to tune into a basketball game unless we're going to be talking about them on this channel.
Why we're the number 6? There's multiple reasons. One, because 23 is one of my favorite numbers as well. So, 2 times 3 is 6. Also, my first son is October 6th, the 6th day of October, and my youngest son is June 14th, the 6th month of the year. So, 6 has always been, with me.
And it was just discipline. I was so athletic that I could reel myself. There's sometimes there's like old clips of me that I watch or come across my timeline on social. Yeah.
Hold on. Bro, it's okay.
I see the clips sometimes.
No.
I don't just go online and look up LeBron James highlights.
We all watch our own highlights on YouTube. LeBron,
I'm telling you.
You've never gone on YouTube?
Yes, I have. Of course I have. I say from time to time they come through. Of course I have. Especially, by the way, the number one reason you do that is when you hit like a little slump or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Where's my game?
Where's my game at?
Oh, YouTube is a perfect place to find your game.
I had one coach, and he used to say, put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite saying. That's my favorite saying.
You're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into that, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago. It's my first time actually reading this from start to finish. Very smart man. Watched the whole game. I seen the whole game. I was at home watching the game. I said he was going to, before the game even started, when I seen, I said he was probably going to score 70 tonight. I don't know what made me say that. My friends was with me and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, well, he might as well go for 80 now. So, I'm a fan of the game. To see that performance was unbelievable.